you know, like just I don't know, people just probably just see it on my chart and they just think like it's like for good looks or for whatever thing. But you can the cool thing about the tool in TradingView, you can customize it to make it look however you want it to look. I just make mine like bright just so I could just like see it as I'm like hitting the space bar through all my charts.
Yeah. Okay, it should be live on YouTube now. If you guys, yes, it is.
See it as I'm like live on YouTube.
There, yeah. So the YouTube live is up. I'm gonna send a link to it right now because I know some of you aren't in. So let's get you guys in. Cool. All right. So if you guys can't see it in the Discord right now, head over to the YouTube link that I sent in Crypto Archive. You guys can watch it there. It might even be better quality. I'm not sure. But yeah, so we'll get started now. I'm going to let Glacier take it off. This is Harmonics Foundations. You guys probably have seen this before in his charts. So yeah, let's go.
Dope. All right, so what's good, everyone? Happy everyone could pull up. I know I've just been getting a lot of DMs and like a lot of just questions in the chat. So hopefully, like if you pulling up today, like it's just to get a better understanding about like harmonics and like harmonic patterns and how you can apply them to your charts. Um, Harmonic pattern, essentially is just a combination of percentage measurements like retraces. So you got on charts like you got your swing highs and your swing lows. In between these, like there's specific percentage like alignments that like tend to like probability wise like create an outcome one way or another. And so and what I mean by that is that generally most patterns and most oscillations like in a market, they're gonna be like giant like M's and W's, right? Like you got here, this is a better example. So going into BNB, let me just delete this because this is what I'm talking about. If you've never seen a harmonic pattern or anything before, it's this right here. It's this pink like M looking structure. And here I'm gonna flip my chart, and then you might see like W-shaped ones, right? M's are bullish because you get a reaction at the bottom to then, let me see where's my tool, to then get a reaction to the upside this way. Unlike W's, you hit a certain amount of premium from this previous swing high, and you get a reaction to the downside. But going back to, I guess, the beginnings of it, one way you can start like looking to identify potential harmonics is going on your charts on. I would stick with 1 hour and 4 hour and like daily time frames, identifying like M's and W's like in the chart. And to do that, you have to find your most distinguished like swing high and swing low, right? Because with harmonics, the whole key principle behind it is Fibonacci retracement. And here, let me go to a cleaner chart of Binance.
And one thing you can define these harmonics with is really it's finding the reversal of the a bull market or within a low time frame bear trend, right? So these are like sniper entries. Like this is if done correctly, you're getting at the top of a trend for a short at or at the very bottom of a trend for a long position. So it's a reversal indication.
100%. And so with all these swing highs and swing lows, right? Like anyone can generally see like this right here, like it's like an uptrend, right? You get a swing low to swing high, back down to swing low to swing high, swing low to swing high, back down to swing low, right? And so with the harmonic tool, we can see, or even just, oh crap, I didn't mean to do that. Even with our just standard Fibonacci tool, you can see here from this swing high, right, the local one, back down to this most recent swing low, right? Price hit at 88% down over here. Price hit a perfect 88% retrace, right? And it tried to hold it, and then you got a reaction up. So then it's like, okay, so I know that from this low to the high, back down to this recent low, value and price got on an 88% discount of just this range, right? It's not like saying that, oh, Binance dumped 88%. It's just 88% off from this local low. And to most people looking for long opportunities, like if people were looking for longs like at BNB over here at what is this 535, like you should definitely be looking for long opportunities right down here at 360 because this is literally the summer low or September low. So with this harmonic tool, I'm gonna take this swing low, right? Because this is where we start, or X to A, back down to your initial pivot, right? This is like your reaction from the swing high to swing low. So we got a 38% retrace. So back down to the bottom of this range. And then we got a second impulse up, so you get like a double top or like a lower high input, like this one about a 90, you see that 92 on the screen right there? So back up like price, how do I say this? Price is 92%, almost 100% completed to where it was right here. So at 669.75 is that high level. This 92% level is about roughly, what is this? 658. Going back down to our D point, right? And this is only visible after the D point has been like happened. So it's hard to theorize and like hypothesize like if this were we were in time, you'd kind of have to wait for the reaction on D for you to even come to the hypothesis of it there being a harmonic or not, because you have to wait for the specific measurement. Like you can't just be like, oh, like this isn't one because this is not a full retrace. You only got 50% discount from this high to the low, right? Like deep value 886, 786, like bottom of the range. Because think of it like this: for a short opportunity, shorts are an 88% discount from this low. Like if you didn't get shorts on right here and you got right here, it's like damn, you had hella fun with 300-point drop. But now we're back on 88% sale from shorts, back down to the downside. Same thing for longs. If you didn't long right here, you have mad FOMO. Like why would you not be looking at longs at 88% off from 360 from this local low at 320? Um, and just these certain variables, swing high to swing lows, like so each different characteristic has different things. So let me see like this. Uh, right. Actually, this would be perfect. Just get rid of everything. So X to A, back down to B, right? This right here is a bat. 50% retrace to that swing low, I mean to that midpoint, back down, 886. That's a bat pattern. And then there's bats, sharks, ciphers, butterflies, crabs, Gartleys,
We should also say we
and
have an infographic with all of these
yeah,
in the
there is an
chart
infographic.
section, so you can see the exact pattern that you'll need to recognize for each of these. And remember, finding these patterns, it really needs to be at the end of the trend, right? Like to get the D
Yeah,
point on the bat that you just showed, like the full trend needs to be developed. So it's a very patient technical strategy that you're using here. Normally, you're
very
going
patient.
through. I would say, would you say you use this on higher time frames more than lower time frames?
Oh, definitely. Like I really don't even really trade on the 1 hour. I kind of look at the 1 hour just to see like potentially if we might get some price action like movement or like some Japanese candlestick reversal to like push the higher trend. But
Mhm.
really I'm only looking at like a 4 hour, a daily, and like now since so many charts have been invalidated through their like swing lows like from the summer, starting to look at these weekly charts and seeing where their 886s are at.
Got it.
Because now we're like getting the trend because of all these coins went up so fast and you're breaking like the most major last swing low of like the most recent crash. Like you could be putting in a major M structure like on like pretty much any coin that
Mhm.
we're thinking of right now.
Got it.
So you just something to think of, and that's why I'm not jumping the gun saying like because what all time Bitcoin 886 from the low of what I don't know $1 to 70,000. It's roughly 88% off. I think it's like 11,000 or 10,000 or something. Like
Yeah, some crazy
you can't
lows.
jump the gun. You can't jump the gun and assume like this and then be so fixated on like oh well the this last leg like from C to D like this it's going down because it doesn't have to because you can get a lot of this right like selling down. All it has to do is just keep making like lower highs than the previous high, right? Like to not break this previous high to down. So you could be sitting there for months, years, depending on the time frame that you're looking on. Like if you're waiting for a monthly like M shape on like these cryptos, like it's gonna take years, years, because of just all of the bars that need to be taking place. Like these patterns right here, was this BNB? This one's been going on and just got complete down here at the end of January, but this one's been going on since September 27th. That's why most people when I post these charts, um, they get really bullish on them because they like or they've seen the amount of return that can come from these charts because of how much discount that you're either getting or all the premium that you're then going to sell if you're shorting, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they don't like hold through like the move that needs to happen. And there's certain things that happen once you've identified harmonic for like the entry point is like super critical too, because in my opinion, it's not about this reaction. Like I'm very looking at BNB. Like BNB is on one of my heaviest watches right here. Back to BNB. Um, right? It's like a bat. Um, it's not so much for me right here. I'm not entering like on the initial reaction. I'm waiting for if then we get the next sell off, like are we going to like say hold the same level like right here this 886? Um so the type 2 when I say type 2 a lot in chat people are like what what's type 2? Type 2 is where did that tool go? Um Type 2 is type 1 reaction is the reaction. Type 2 should be the confirmation reversal, right? Because we don't know necessarily here if this is where you're going to reverse and then just, break this leg, like, break this downtrend. So you break this pivot high, and then you come up to, I don't know, let's say here. This is the fib, right? Because this is how you would size up um, like where you would take it to. So you have to wait for something like this all the time. Because it's not so much about this one, because you can just come up here and sell off, and then you can just break down and go lower and completely invalidate it. But what you need to see happen is you need to come here and see that we need to hold the same level again, like a type 2. Same thing right here. It's like a double top. Like this is where people would end up looking to short, right? Same thing here, double bottom. Double bottom at 886, like exactly where you wanted it to. And then you're like, okay, then we could potentially take it up. Because now you have a complete area of invalidation. Because you'd size it up like this. So say your entry is like here, you want to, I want to break this like local range that we broke out of again. So you wait for like 380 or something. And I want my stop loss like underneath, this 886 level because underneath that it's garbage. And then I don't know, take it to the 50%. Right there, there's a 3.5 to 1 trade. You got 9% downside with 30% upside. It's like, and then people are like, oh crap, like leverage. I'm going in on the trade 30% upside. That's 300% on 10x or whatever. Like, but they won't hold through the whole move because, like I said, this thing has been like manifesting since September and it's 4 months later and now we just got the reaction one. We still need the reaction two and it's working on it. Like currently right now BNB's got a daily bearish engulfing candle, probably like a lot of cryptos do across the market. So there is a lot of M shapes going on that did get a type one. And with this some sort of reversal, if we just can hold that level, we could see like a lot of entries coming up here on like
Got
pretty
it.
much a lot of charts.
So my question is, there's two different types of reactions. Once you formulate the D point, you have the type 1 reaction, which is the first reaction off D, which can be the full follow through, or you have the type 2, which is a confirmation, set probably a double bottom off the previous zone. That's very similar, right? Those are the two different ways that you'd find an entry off the D point of this bat pattern, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could take the risk, and like most people, like seeing here, and like especially if Bitcoin was showing some signs of reversal, like like, and you take into other accounts of thing, because I'm not just looking at like, um, say these harmonics, like you take into account like Japanese candlesticks, like oh there was a bullish engulfing candle, or there's like a reversal hammer like at the bottom of the range, like some like little signal along with confirmation, or maybe you turn on your indicators and there was some sort of
Yeah.
divergence going on at the 886 seller exhaustion. Like you have these things where you could take your bids and take your shots on value because you have a clear definitive stop loss if someone wanted a long here. 88% off if someone longed at the 886, your stop loss would be underneath that most recent low, right? And then you would take it up, I don't know, conservatively.
Does
Uh,
the Does the type 1 or type 2 reaction give you any profit targets, or the harmonic just gives you the entry, and then as far as targets go, that's, that has to do with, your supply and demand or resistance that you find. All you get from the harmonic is the entry, right?
Yeah, and also too, some patterns by some traders who've like, because I should have started with this though. The person who developed these harmonic patterns, his name is Scott Carney. He's been trading for decades now, and he developed them in the early '90s and stuff like that. He's written a bunch of books. He's on YouTube. He might have a Discord or something out there that whatever if you're on interested or whatever. He's a super friendly dude, and he answers everybody's questions. But he does his harmonics based off like he made like a patent like indicator that kind of like does his own things instead of having to draw them all the time. So, but his take profit levels are based on fib levels. So this bad pattern, you would a TP1 would be about at the 50% retrace from the upside, like from this swing low now to the top of the pattern.
Mm.
So right here would be like TP1, and then let me see, make stupid tool, yeah. Um, his TP1 would be like this, and then like TP2 could be the 786, or really the 886 is like your final TP, and then you save a TP3 for like like moonbag if you break this high. But that's
Beautiful.
like being conservative like with it. But there's other traders that have like kind of adopted his like harmonic tool, and they have realized that they take profits at the top of the range for their things. I mean, it's just generally the same thing, 886. It's like this. Um, Literally, because you would take this whole entire move up. This is the range that you want to sell because you don't want to sell at resistance. You want to sell leading into it. Again, 886. Um, Pretty much the 886 in super bullish markets, especially crypto. These patterns have been going around since stocks in the '90s and forex in the 2000s and stuff like that. So um,
There
they
is
they move different behaviors with again because they're all market participant like driven patterns. So these specific people trading BNB, like they're buying it at 88% discount. I guarantee you it's probably like every single time too. Like,
After
I'm
this,
sorry, you were saying
let's
something?
yeah, I was gonna say let's go over QNT after this, because it's one play that there's two traders in here for those that don't know that trade with Harmonics at least very consistently, Glacier and Casper. And one of Casper's most recent plays that did extremely well was QNT. And it was a very long term. Here, I'll pull it up here in crypto chat so I can show everyone on the stream. But this was in December. This was on December 9th, right? We had as you can see here, a bat formation on QNT, which was pretty much using the entire historical data that we had on it from 2020 to 2021, going up into 2022, and using this pattern, the D formation was, theorized to be somewhere near $98, and then I'll go back to your screen now. And if we look at this, the QNT pattern bounced off of that level at 98, and absolutely, went insane. I don't know if you see it. It's in crypto chat if you want to go look at it for
Yeah,
yourself.
I just looked at it. Yeah. Right off the bat, I mean, you can kind of see just the M, right? So you get the X, your A, right? Bullish harmonic. B, 50%. And then what, your 886. You undercut it just a little bit, but let me see. This is where once am I looking at the right ticker? QNT 98.
Yeah, QNT.
What time? What time frame is this chart on? Daily.
And this one was using
He did.
Coinbase chart.
Coinbase.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
So
Coinbase has a little bit
that's
more
honestly
data.
too. Your liquidity, like where you're looking at matters because swing high, swing lows on different exchanges is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Right. Okay. So yeah. So you see here, right? Because this would be two separate patterns. This X, since your D undercut X, like you broke this swing low. So you would have to then do like a deeper retrace leg down. That's why I was like when I was stretching my XABCD tool, I was undercutting the X.
Got it. So for
Um,
people that don't understand like what's going on here, this is QNT is being shown on two different platforms here, one on Coinbase and one on Binance. One has a little bit less data because it was listed later, such as Binance listing it later, Coinbase had it first, so there's more data to move off. So going in between different liquidity providers is going to give you, especially with Harmonics, potentially, a different theory on where you're going to find your D pattern because there's more data. And as you can see using the Coinbase chart here, this is exactly what Casper had done. And we waited, how long did we wait for this play? We waited, I want to say, 30 days. So We
It's
waited
probably
over.
more than that.
Yeah, I don't know
Let
how
me
long
see.
the wait time was, but
Mid-December.
it was beautiful. Yeah, he called it out December 9th, and I don't know where we got our entries at, but sometime it was within the last 7 days that we got our entries. And
Yeah, the 886 didn't hit until January 21st. And then it consolidated there for about 10 bars, and then you got your
oh yeah,
reaction.
well
And that
over a
this is
month.
still your yeah, this is still your type 1, right? So like most people what they do is like simple like harmonics isn't just like one bias thing. 'Cause you take into accounts of anything like market structure, like distribution, accumulation, making retail traders FOMO in, like inducing buying off these crazy reactions, right? Because no one's like really paying attention to it, but it's like, oh my God, why is QNT up so much? Well, dude, like from your lowest level of all time to your straight up all time high, it's been consolidating here for 5 days at like 90% discount. Like go into a store and your favorite pair of shoes, like you buy them for 200 bucks or whatever, and then you come in the next day and they're only cost $20. Like this is when people buy. Like you buy now before you break these swing lows, or like you start you go Fibonacci the wrong way and see like where you would go. I don't know, zero. Like down here, it's not that much farther below.
And that's
But
one. Well, that's the
yeah,
one thing I like about harmonics is really there's not many indicators in the market that help give you a consensus of where this all-time reversal can occur. Like this is the all-time chart for QNT's price data, right? Using
yeah,
harmonic, you can scour the entire chart. I don't know if it's 2.5 years of data here. Use a harmonic and figure out where your D point theory is going to be at 886. And for those that don't know what 886 means, I know we're saying 886. It literally just means 88.6%, right?
yeah.
88.6% from the high of the range, which here it looks like it'd be $425. 88.6% below that range is going to be at the $98 range. And that's where Casper ended up giving us all of our entries. And as you can see, I think QNT is at like 150 bucks. So we almost doubled our money with a month out, right? So we forecasted over a month later where price would be, took the entries, a little over a month later, and boom, that's how it works. So that's like a real lifetime example of how the bat harmonic worked. And that was the most recent one that I remember because it was absolutely melted faces off this one. So I'm sure you have a few more that you can show us, but that's the one I want to show you guys because I think most of you were in this play. So now you understand how Casper came to the realization that this is going to be where the entries are going to be found, and then the rest is history as the gains have been made.
Yeah, 100%. And like from that wick low, what day was this? January 21st, January 22nd to this most previous high of what was it, yesterday? QNT is up 94% from the bottom, by the way. Like, 94% just
Yeah,
on this little
insane.
move. So to your, take profits on like after you say you would get a type 2, like Fibonacci the other way, right? Because you find where your discount is and then you want to find where your premium's at. You're not even at a 23% retrace from your low to high. Like, so if we're talking W pattern, like flip it the other way. So like you get your X to A. I don't know, like you get a 50% retrace. You come down, you just sell off, you make a higher low than the previous low. Was this 886? Let's just go 886 again. Right? And then you come up to this 886. And the reason why this is all like aligning is because 50% retrace, right? Come back down, type 2, or I'm sorry, not type 2, C to D leg, and then this is where you would want to be selling. So it's always funny how the whole markets are always made up of M's and W's because then I'm always looking for the next one.
I was going to
Like,
say, can you show us the M and W formation next to each other? Because it always looks so clean, right? When
yeah.
you find the bottom, and then you can theorize where the potential top of your pattern is going to be. I
So
see
this
them all
is
the time. Yeah.
yeah. Let me see. It's fib, and then so if this is your type 1, right? So let's see. Like I was like do like this. Whenever I do this, I'm just trying to point out like swing lows, right? Um, come down, say, Bitcoin, wants to test 40K, chop through whatever, all coins get. I don't think QNT would lose all of its value like that or whatever, but it would be amazing if you got like a legit type 2, if not just selling off and making a higher low than this low. And then, you get something like this up to this level. Um, so yeah, it would be like this. X to A, let's get a 50% or even just a 38. I don't know. Minimum target you need for a retrace because I mean, a 23% is just like it's too shallow. Like if this is all you get, and the reason why I'm doing 23%, these are all fib like harmonic fib like inputs, I guess you say like a 23%, a third 382. a 50, a 618, 786, 886, and then you get your absolute like like if you're one or whatever, you're 100% retrace, and then you go into like 113, 1272s, 1414s, 1618s, like so there's a whole thing. I'm in the process of actually developing a guide like with like playbit like like our own shit, so it's not like somebody some other trading groups like Harmonic guy, like we're gonna have like Playbit logos on our harmonics and stuff like that too. But eventually. But yeah, so you come up, you get your 786, and then you get I don't know 88. But I gotta fix this. This is bothering some 50%. And there's charts here. Let me see. Actually, I have real-time examples. But yeah, Casper's QNT harmonic was awesome. Nice reaction on the type one. Type one already gave you a 90% upside from the bottom. 50%, it'd be like at like 245 or something, just eyeballing it, like 240. Let me see. Go to my watch list. Oh, here, perfect one that we're looking at. XTZ. Um, love this, love this. XTZ, same thing. Type one reaction. Right, this is a shark. Um, it's like it's like a alt bat shark thing. I don't know, because you made a higher high on C. You didn't make like the lower high, but you got a 50%. It's really the shark you want a 382. But that's getting in the super technicals if you like really want to like get onto the patterns. But same thing, XTZ, straight uptrend, super clean. I've been eyeing this. XTZ was popping up over here, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna set bids for 280. Just because that's the 886 from this summer low, just like how Bitcoin had. And I got that literally just by drawing the fib tool, and I'm like, all right, so we made the X to A, the B, and then we made the C, and now we're getting the blow off top kind of. So like, where's our D point? So that's the same thing over here. Got blown up. I could even delete this one. X to A to B to C to D. Type 1, right? Type 1, type 2, blow up, right? Sell off again. It's the patterns literally just like repeat themselves. The whole entire market is made up of M's and W's, like the whole way through. I don't know, M, and this is like it probably a crappy W, but then you get the W like higher low than this low, sell off, and then I don't know, like M, W, M, like it's just continuous. Another one, another one, XRP, BTC. This is my watch list with should have all the harmonics. Oh, this is one on Ethereum that we saw a while ago. 87%, 886 initial reaction, sell off from the swing high to swing low. This is a nice one. TRX, another one too that we see right here. This is a shark, perfect shark, honestly. 113% retrace, 886, type 1, working on it. So you want to see it then break off. Like, man, this thing's it's always just so perfect. Fib, right, from low to high. 886, you get the reaction. Lower high than the previous high. Gonna go in for a type 2. Another one too that I'm seeing. There's so many everywhere. EOS was a great one, or in the process of it too. So I don't know if you guys are just catching the pattern, like M's and W's, and the right combinations between the two, like give serious reactions. Like 886 right here. I don't know. 40% upside.
And the beauty of it is it's really at the bottom of the trend. Like within the next, 2, 3 days, like you have your full reaction from this pattern.
Yeah. Trying to find some better examples. Maker was one. I remember that. Yeah, Maker was one of them. Bottom of the range. This was a deep crab. C lower high than A, but then you break the D point coming down. And if anyone has any questions on like the specific measurements of them, and like say if you, I don't know, like are drawing them and trying to identify them on your own, and you want to like shoot me over like, hey, is this valid? Like I can give you like the coordinates in which they're supposed to like align with. And then so yeah, Maker was a little different because when you hit the 1618, you consolidated for a while, and then but most of the price action deliberation was like right here at this level. Like yeah, I know you deviated above and below it, but like almost like if there was like a median average, like it would kind of be like right here, and then you get the pop. Um, so yeah, these certain variables helping you identify them on like higher time frames, especially like keys like support and resistance levels, like Maker right here. The 1618 was like at the literal bottom from the bottom of the range, like over here, and leading into I think it was the top of the yeah, the tops from 2018 over here. So it's just all these confluences. It's not just one thing. It's not just the harmonic itself, but where it is placed too, right? Because I don't want I wouldn't want like a giant M like up here because it's not really discounted. But when you get this whole entire thing, your M comes all the way down like at your almost lowest low ever. The risk becomes super easy to size up because it's like if you break the previous swing low, if it doesn't hold, if you don't make a higher low here, then you have an easy stop loss all the time. Super easy always to size up. Let me see this polka dot, maybe Atom.
Yeah, I wonder
Oh,
if there was any on Atom.
yeah, there was one right here. So you got your initial
Beautiful.
type one. You've undercut it a bit, probably just with the market, still making a lower high. Um, from January 24th, so this one in right now. I bet someone probably have seen like this like little W or something going on right here. And this one could still be in development too because let me see. Swing low. You get your X to A to B, 382, 37%. And I tend to I'm not like a super stickler like with my deviations. Like generally like it's like a 3%. Like if I need like a 38% retrace and it's like I get like a 35 or 36. I'm like, all right, let's see like I'm the confidence in it definitely like tapers a bit, but I'll definitely like still look at it to see like how like it performs and stuff like that. So your D is a higher low. It's a 92%, a little undercut the 886, and so far like it's a 65%. I mean, I'm still thinking that you could still hit the 886. Um, just the key part is you just can't break these lows. So I mean, it's gonna be kind of easy for that one because you could just sell off, probably make another M right here if Bitcoin wants to again, taper down a bit, 35%. This is gonna be like a shark, right? 886. This is probably what's gonna happen if Bitcoin rolls over on Atom. You might find some value at 26. Might find some value at 26, right? And then you could size it up like this. After you get your type one, you get something like this. And I always try to draw like the little maps just so I never forget like of what it is. And then this is where you'd want to enter. The type two after the confirmation. And you cut underneath like your swing low. And then your targets could be yeah, like if you have a support resistance that you've just like have on your chart and like you just 100% believe in it, like this is not to change your TA like whatsoever. Like if you have a line like that, like right here, I'm definitely going to be looking at 2950 on Atom regardless if my target for it's really like up here, like higher value like 786, 886 of that range. I'm still definitely like this is TP1, like it has to be, and it's kind of cool too because it's like the midpoint of the harmonic too. Like you got a top, um, just probably in like a higher time frame. Yeah, it's the candle high close from your previous all-time high candle high close from May. So super valid for me to look at. But yeah, I mean this could literally play out like right now. Like if Bitcoin wants to roll over, you get those bearish engulfing candles across the market. Adam was trying to hold. You try to have a bullish engulfing candle on the 4 hour. Let's see if we can get some more buys. Still an hour left into it, but like with reversal candles, market structures, and I still obviously look at like like wedges, head and shoulders, and just stuff like that. Um, it's just an area of confluence. But I'm gonna keep this on my chart because this is pretty clean for Adam. Good size thing. So yeah, this is what I'd probably send this out. Like if Adam came down to 26 ish, I'd probably send this out after we get the type two because it's not so much about the initial reaction; it's about the confirmation. Because again, like I said, if you enter here or say you enter here and you wait for like some sort of good buying, and then you're like, all right, I'm gonna long here, but then we only come up about 2-3%, and you're expecting us to come here, and we pivot down for a type two. You're like, damn, my position's red now or whatever. I'm gonna get out because oh we're just gonna shit, but really you come down, you just confirm the bottom, and then you reverse, and then you FOMO back in. So um, more so to be patient with these things, um, taking bids at confirmations versus just taking bids at their reaction. Just something to think about if you do like want to pursue. Oh, like Luna. Luna's a perfect one right here. Perfect harmonic. 618, 618, 886. Like it's like literally textbook. You got your initial reaction. So dude, if Luna comes down, we start getting these 46 or even like 50. Like if you just make a higher low, because there's no real telling on when you like when the higher low is put in. It's not guaranteed. We don't have to come exactly to 46 double bottom. You could just make a higher low than the previous low. Like you came down to 50 and come up here, like type 1, type 2. You get just a bullish reversal candle. Still stop loss underneath 886. Um, I was in Luna. I took profits on it. I'm still waiting for the type 2. I bid a little bit here because you had the bullish engulfing candle through the 200 EMA. There was other confluences with the entry for the trade, but the harmonic does help, and I feel good about it. But like I said too, I don't really like this. I don't like the M at the top. I'd rather have the M down here. This is kind of where you generally have a W. Same thing, if you have a bearish harmonic at the straight all-time lows, it's like, bro, like, how do you really think it's going to perform? Like, like, do our market participants really going to keep selling it down? Like, so it's kind of like the context of the harmonic really matters a lot too. Bottom of the range M's, top of the range W's, like, that's kind of what you want to see as just like more confirmation for it. Let me see, like one. There's one here, type 1. One could be working on a type 2 right now, and it's like the most insane type 2 ever because you literally went to the top of the range. Like you went to all-time highs. And then I bet if you look on like a weekly, like you can get something like look at one. Like I don't know. I'm not like I'm bullish on one. I literally have one longs like open right now, but like dude, like when you get something like this, 786, I don't know, like 87, 88% retrace come down. I don't know, your 886 on one is like if everything wants to roll over is like 8 cents. You'd still be making a higher low than summer lows. It just is what it is. I don't know. When things go up too fast, you can't be surprised when they go down just as fast. But from this most recent swing low, like your M, yeah, that 886 is like right here. Weekly candle's not looking the best too. After this bullish engulfing candle, you don't really want that follow through. Like this, well, this is poor follow through, I should say. Um, so yeah, with the harmonics, context is like everything. And I don't know if anybody has some questions. I kind of want to look through the chat real quick because I feel like I've been going kind of quick. Now I know what 886 is. Yes.
Yeah, that was one of the main
Yes,
questions.
yes.
What is 886?
Is 86 just percent? Yeah, yes. Let me see. iPad super blurry. It'll be good. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions though? Fucking what's the first 45? Damn, I can't believe we've been doing 45. Actually, we started a little late, so it hasn't been 45, man. It's been
Yeah,
like
it's been
30.
about 37 minutes so far.
Yeah, but take some time. If anyone's, I don't know. I'm not checking the YouTube if you guys are typing the like
I'm
questions or
checking the
whatever in
YouTube
the
right now.
YouTube.
There's no questions for you.
All right, cool.
But yeah, I don't know if you can go over any invalidated setups where the harmonic, maybe didn't
Totally.
work or didn't give as much value.
Totally. There's totally some. It's like right here, right? I try to call this out. So Bitcoin for September lows. Was it on the daily? Can't remember which chart it was on. Yeah, it was on the daily or this one. So summer lows. I tried to call this harmonic. I don't know. You guys can probably see the M that I'm talking about that failed. I'll look at your question in just a second, Jay. Let's see. So I got my summer low or whatever. X to A, back down to B, 382. It's a little shark, right? And I wanted it to go to 886. Or it was a little undercut, it was like 90, 93 or something like that. But serious value, like you're on an insane discount from your last low. We got the initial reaction. Came down. We didn't get the type 2, but when we came down, that's why it's so important about the type 2 because when we came down for the type 2, you just created more distribution. You undercut it. Really like if you want to see like from the all-time high to the low, like we did. Remember that number that I said was that fib number 1272? It didn't want the 886. It needed 30% more, like down. Not 30% in regards to price. I mean in percentage range. Almost think of this like with like a log chart on or something like that. So this Bitcoin, well, actually, it was actually 30% off from its all-time high, but um, so yeah, so I bid right here at the 886, and it never fell through, and it needed a lower price. Like, not saying that this was the reaction that we needed, like 1272 was like the leg for this harmonic, but 886s fail, and sometimes you need to break lows, and that's just more distribution. Like which was fine. Like, we broke 40K. Now we're back above it, and we're trying to like, you know, hold above it for some reason. Um, not for some reason, for a lot of reasons, but another one. Not, Harmonic's failing me all the time. And what's generally too is if you're like in a macro like bear market, bullish harmonics tend to get obliterated like really quick. Same thing if you're in a super bullish market, like all of the bearish harmonics that Bitcoin was pointing in um on the uptrend, like especially from like these ones like back testing, like these ones were legit failing like so hard. So you definitely gotta know like what kind of like market you're in. Like this one. Like I could probably see this right here. Um this might be a little reach though, but it's like swing high, like low, and then like up here, like you think like, oh, like 150% like you're super, you need to go down, and then just nope, another leg up. So bearish harmonics and uptrends get absolutely crapped on. So that's another thing. Out of all of them though, like bullish or bearish ones,
It still
definitely the
has
bearish
the
ones getting
it
invalidated.
still has the initial reaction, which I can tell. So there's still the first reaction at that 886 level, but the
Yeah,
follow through, you're not getting 20-25% follow through from those moves. You'll get a small follow through, but if the uptrend is still very bullish, then the harmonic will be invalidated after a short period.
100%. Let me try to. Yeah, I made a watch list. I'm going into my Discord right now. Um,
And then one of the last questions would be, what harmonic do we currently size up on Bitcoin? I know we do have the bullish shark pattern that already played out. I don't know if there's another one going.
um, well, um, there was one on ETH, or there was one on Bitcoin and ETH. So it's weird though about the thing. So Bitcoin right now is obviously outperforming most of the altcoins, especially like BNB and like Cardano. Well, Cardano is like at the legit bottom, but BNB and Ethereum, because if you notice here on Bitcoin, it broke its most recent like swing high. And when I most recent swing high, I mean like of the downtrend that we've been in, like clear like high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. So you broke it yesterday. I mean, now we're underneath it and we're trying to get back above it, but we did break it. Other than like Ethereum, who its most recent swing high, you didn't even get close to it. Um, so what is it? I think it was like a 786. Like yeah, we'll overcut it just a little bit, but yeah, 786, 886 level. Um, didn't really get close to it. So Ethereum actually has a bearish harmonic right now. Let me see if it's actually relevant enough to see. So your X to A, B. Is this a 45? I know it's too. 50% never really get hit. It's always like a 45. 786, 85. Not so much 86, but you got that initial touch point. 85 to 88, 88 to 91. It's generally what I do, like a 3 percentage point like grace. Before it's like I consider it kind of reaching hell hard. Because you'll see people like try to like reach like shit like crazy, like trying to make these M's and W's like, because I'm not trying to force it. And these harmonics are nothing's really like the tool isn't bearish or bullish. It's just like indication like, yo, like this is where this premium just got really expensive, and to short here it's very low risk, right? Because if you shorted, not saying to hop in Ethereum shorts, people, I'm just saying from the level of like an idea of value, like an easy stop loss if you break this most previous high. um Now it's like opposite point, so if you got in like here, right, it'd be something like this. and then you come back. Your target would be back down to some value, like 786, 886, that good stuff. See, like this. It's all just every time you make it something, it's another thing is about to perform right after it. 786, like I don't know, 886, bottom of the range. I'd probably honestly take it to the 50 because I hate shorting. I really do hate shorting though. Um, it's because shorts get smacked in uptrends, especially these bearish ones. Like this will probably just if Bitcoin just wants to absolutely moon to 45K, 50K or whatever, like this thing is gonna get absolutely validated. Um, yeah, harmonics fail quite frequently, and like I said, this isn't like a get rich indicator. This isn't like a foolproof, whatever. People apply this with traditional technical analysis, Japanese candlesticks. People do it with indicators. People do it like I tend not to have a bunch of indicators. I kind of like turn my things on when I want to see some sort of divergence or whatever. Like this is diverging pretty hard that I could tell. Like on Ethereum, um, you made your high like in regards to like my MACD and RSI. Like you impulsed, you made a high, you sold off, and you made a higher high than previous high, but not your MACD. You're selling off, and your RSI is kind of like double topping. So and just another confluence, like with like the overall trend that we've had. Like this is Ethereum's here, and I think here this one started the uptrend too, all the way down here. Bearish harmonic sell off, impulse break. This was like a major fractal for me. You notice here, boom, 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 breakout. Same thing, XABCD, sell off, breakout of the previous all-time high. Um, so a lot of stuff like same thing, Ethereum too, from this local high to low. I think it's about 88%. I'm always just looking for the biggest discount. Like I don't want to pay 786. I'm sorry, not 886. I don't want to pay a lot to long something. Like if I feel like I'm like not the risk reward, like if I'm not making like 3 to 1, and I can easily see where something is getting invalidated, like I'm just not gonna hop into it, regardless if it has a harmonic or not. Like there's got to be other contexts with it. But to identify them, it's literally M's and W's. So I would totally recommend just everyone like going on like a 1 hour, like a 4 hour, like of a really liquid asset. Like you don't want it to be illiquid, so people aren't like participating in it. But you want to see where um the swing high and swing lows are. So get your fib tool out and get the XABCD tool out on TradingView and just start like drawing. Like they could be small too, even like this thing right here. Like this is one, right? They're everywhere, bro. X, A, B, 50%. The top, 886. Okay, 92. What is this? 85. Boom. Reaction. But guess what? Where'd your type 2 go? That's why longing on the reaction 1 is tricky because then you probably won't get filled to like right here until you're confident or whatever into it and then you get the impulse. But like where were you TPing at? I don't know. That's why I'm always asking. It's like I'm always kind of like shitting on my own like trades because I'm like thinking to myself like, damn, like if I was gonna have these reactions, like or like these questions for myself, like why would I be taking profits here? Like, oh well, it hit the 618, like that's a good place to sell. Like from that swing high to swing low, 618, boom, and immediate reaction, you capitulated through. So you didn't get the type two. Imagine somebody right here though where this candle closed. It's like, bro, it could be the most perfect type two ever. I'm gonna get in, and they get in, and then they get this little pump and
Yeah.
so immediate fail.
Yeah,
So
then the
this where
next one
actually right here
validates.
is a perfect one of it failing because you did get the candle close above the 886 or whatever, and then just but fail.
So sometimes do you find yourself charting out these bats or sharks and then pulling it down to where maybe the 886 would be on the D formation and then just waiting for that bid to fill? I know you did that with BNB, but like if you set it up right now on Bitcoin, you usually just wait till it gets towards the D point, wait for some type of low time frame bullish indication such as maybe bullish pin bar, bullish engulfing candle, and then you can make your entry on that first D. Or do you find yourself maybe waiting for the type 2 reaction more of the time?
So, so honestly, to me, it depends on the market. If it's like, say, I don't know, if it's not Bitcoin, like, say if it was, I don't know, like Dent or BTT or like, some shit coin, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be like, well, if Bitcoin's gonna pivot here, like, if this swing high to swing low and we're at like 886, like, you're probably gonna catch bids just because of how, like, like low market cap the coins are and like
Hmm.
just, everything pivoting with it. But if taking the shot on like the macro, aka like Bitcoin, is like very tricky for me, and I'd probably always wait for the type two, just depending on like the type of market that we're in. Like if uh if everything is undercut like this previous lows, but Bitcoin's at the 886, like you can try to long Bitcoin, but if the whole entire market is pulling down, like I'd definitely be cautious that that level might not fail. So I want to wait for some sort of like reversal from that level. I generally don't want to like try to get sniped at the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, um,
It's probably fairly difficult to actually get the type D reaction, right? Unless you've been waiting for it for a while. But like such as Airbnb on your screen, like you had fairly hard capitulation on the 6 days before it actually fell into where that D value was, and then you had the type 2 reaction, which is
yeah,
perfect. But you can, it looks like most of the time if you get the D reaction on its, first capitulation into it, consolidate there for a little bit, and then you have the markup phase, and then back down
definitely.
into type 2.
And the weakness and the strength of the harmonic can fail just by how much time is like being passed to. That's another thing I wanted to get into is that so if you notice here from like where you first hit your D point, um, what was this May 13th? The type one, like the before you began like a little reversal, it took what is this? 11 bars, right? Before you got like, your impulse. But really, it was about 43 bars until your type 2 hit. Scott Cronin has this thing where generally 30 to 50 bars, if this thing is like just lagging, like if this thing just did nothing the whole entire time, like and you're just consolidating right here, I would kind of disregard it because there's not enough active people in it seeing and about to do what you're trying to hope that it did. But people say that harmonics and stuff like that or certain technical analysis concepts don't work on specific markets, and I probably think that you need to like find a different way to trade because your trading style should work on every chart. Like this chart right here could be like, I don't know, plastic, not Airbnb, and it should do what the behavior is looking like it should do, right? You get the discount, you react, you make a type two confirmation of buyers, like more buyers here than there previously was on this last sell off. Like it's even like a little. Technically, it's another higher low, right? This is probably another harmonic. Like I don't know, like let's like X A back down to B, 50%, 140%, like 97%. Sometimes these things go do full 100%, but that's just a double bottom. But you see like M shape, boom, explode like for the type two, and then uh, I was telling everybody on this day, I was telling everybody to sell Airbnb like in the chat. Like you can fact check me all you want. Literally from this swing high to low, the target for this was always the 886, telling everybody to sell Airbnb. And it wicked up here and then it came through and everyone thought I was stupid because I was like selling it at like 205 or something, not the 212 top wick. And then we get the bullish candle and everyone's like, oh, bro, like you sold it too early. I'm like, all right, well, you need candle closure above always to break levels. And then, nope, back down you go. And you went back down to the fair value area where we literally entered. We got in at 142. So definitely you want to respect the pattern and not try to think that um this time on something it'll be different or this one's showing different things and this one's gonna outperform. Like play the numbers, like every time like just like a robot, like all right, like I'm gonna sell at the 886, I'm gonna buy at the 886. Like why? Because it's cheap and low risk, and two because I'm not trying to sell at the literal top, I'm just trying to sell on the strength. If you do that, I guarantee you'll start making a lot more money.
That's a
Not just
that's a
with
good thing to
Harmonic.
note, by the way. What you just said, right? It's not about selling the exact top. It's about selling into the strength of where you believe the resistance for that top reversal is going to be. So even though we sold Airbnb right around $200 and it ran up to above 210, right? That's considered like the perfect exit, right? You sell into the strength rather than try to time the exact top. Because if you try to time the exact top, you can get burnt and then start seeing more downside than you expected before. So a lot of you need to compound this idea. Works for all markets, right? Selling into strength is the best thing you can do, and long term, you're going to see the benefits very, very quickly.
Yeah, because all the holders like that are like when Airbnb was like 209 are like, oh my God, like we're breaking 80s, like, we're about to hit 220, like, we're about to break all-time high, and then you start hitting, like, these crazy fib numbers, like, targets, like, where you can go. Like, bro, like, I don't know, like, this is greed, bro. Like, you just got 88% profits from the low of the range to the high. Like, you just, you ate up 88% of the whole entire move back to the upside. You're only down really, like, if you're thinking like a percentage point, you're only down 10% from the high. It's like, bro, like that's where you sell. Like, I don't know, anything. Like this could, like I said, could literally have been anything. This is where you just take profits at. And look what happens. You get the reaction. You you wait for the next whole wave to come again. So now this is your swing low. I wouldn't really see I don't think this is a harmonic. This is too high. Maybe something like this. Maybe this one. I don't know. Maybe I haven't looked at Airbnb in a while. Maybe we can find something that we could see. Like XA 618. Look at that, that's perfect 618. Your initial low and where you got a reaction, 50% retrace, 95, or where's the reaction? 90. I mean, it's ugly. Some of them they look at the shape and you're like, bro, I don't know, but it's all about the patterns. I mean the percentages that it does. So from this low to this high, back down to this low, like you're 90% off, and then look at your reaction putting in a type one. Um, so yeah, you definitely don't want to disrespect the pattern. Like you gotta take what it gives you, almost like don't like reach for more. Let me see. I
Beautiful.
got other
By the
stocks
way, we
too.
have about 5 more minutes.
Oh yeah.
We should probably take some coin recommendations if you guys want Glacier to go over and throw a Harmie on one of your favorite coins. I have one personally. I want to check out Cardano because one thing Cardano has one problem and it's holding $1 like its life depends on it, and consistently for the last what I think it's over 370 days now, it won't break $1. So I'm sure many times you can have M to W formations in here.
Yeah, 100%. And then so I was looking at this one again. Funny that you said that. I just had to go through more charts. Failed harmonics. This was a failed harmonic. Why? Because from your low of July to your insane, like hyper accumulated rally to $3, back down, 886, you're trying to get a reaction. And look what happened at the 886. Like it's a descending triangle, but straight. This is what I'm talking about. When Scott Carney says bearish stagnation, 30 bars, 30, 50 bars, this is too much, right? You had like if you'd noticed here on Cardano, like every single time it was in the zone, like it got bought up in these are 4 hour candles, so look at all these wicks, bro. Like in a matter of hours, bro. Like you're not supposed to get this much discount for this long, and especially like chop in here like it is. So it didn't hit the 886. It probably went down what 103. Like so, yeah. It's I wouldn't have really been paying attention to it because one, you broke this low, and it's not like decent discount. I did buy Cardano though because of how bullish the market was, and again, not for harmonic purposes because I don't just only trade that. I'm more of like a range, like you know what price has done historically from one thing to another. So I
Yep.
did buy Cardano like when it was breaking these range highs, and it back tested it beautifully. Um, but yeah, I was looking at this big major one for a while, and then this is the one that jump started the whole move to $3. This like little thing. Same thing happened all the time. Remember? Do you remember Cake, bro? Like Cake
Do we
way
have
back
one
in
on
the
cake?
day, like this thing, like down here,
Yep.
little cheeky thing, and then you got your type one. It's super. It probably was on like another time frame. Type one stagnation, then you get like a probably a bullish engulfing candle. Yep, just something, and it just starts the whole entire move. And people are like, damn, like the entry, like why, like what? But just discount, bro. Just buy discount, sell premium every time.
Beautiful.
AMD too, daily chart. There's a harmonic. I know people are interested in stocks. Um, what's that? Yeah, right here. Undercut the 886. Um, just a tad, but this is type one. You're still waiting for a type two, so hopefully maybe we do get some pullback. Because it always sucks when it just type ones and just goes paro. Like you can never account for it. But yeah, you need maybe something like this down to like 107 again. Then you go to the upside, and then you could probably figuratively see like the W. Um, but yeah, if anyone has any like last minute questions, best time frame, 4 hour daily, bro. That's the best one. Man, I missed what type 2 was. Second reaction from the harmonic. For newer traders, do you recommend focusing on just a few specific patterns to get down to basics? If so, what patterns do you look most for? Um, so there's only really six harmonic patterns that like I like look at. I know because other people have like studied Scott Carney stuff and they've tried to create their own patterns and they've adopted mass followings and then people are now like recognizing like these ones, whatever. But I only trade the ones that Scott trades just because if I ever need to fact check something or whatever, like he's the dude who like made it, so he can tell you like yeah or no. Um, but I generally only like look for those. There's really only six. It is a lot to like learn because they are kind of confusing, I guess, because some of them, like for a bat, the X to A to B is a 50%, and then the C needs to be a lower high than A, and the D point needs to be 886. But like the shark is like X to A to B, it could be like a 382 to 50, and then this C point, um, it is high. It's like a higher than A, right? It's like 113% minimum, and then with the still 886. So it is a lot to learn. I will give you that. Honestly, um, probably in the past, what are we in? 2 months, I've been able just to like I just remember them all like off the top of my head. For a while I was like looking at like our cheat sheet that we had like in the resources section of our Discord. Um I would just have like a tab open so I could be like, oh, like this X, like this M pattern, like, oh, what percentage do we need for this? Oh, 382. Oh, I need to wait a little bit or whatever. Like I would just kind of do stuff like that. But now I'm getting more of just familiar with just looking at so many charts every single day and it's like, oh, that's a bat, like that's 886 or that's a higher low. Like I don't know, you'll pick it up if you like, I don't know, like care or like, and you really want to like learn it. I'm pretty sure everyone can because they're honestly really easy. Like they're literally just M's and W's, and if you get the right calculations, you can try to size it up a certain way to be like super profitable, right? Because like if you got in here, stop loss underneath X. I don't know if you got in literally like it's like you're getting in at like the like a literal bottom. Like 107, you have a $7 like stop loss to like 100 or whatever over here. Upside, I don't know, 150.
And
The
that,
risk reward on all these trades are always super juicy too, so that's
there
why I
you go.
love them.
I was going to say, I was like, not only does it give you an indication of trend reversal, it's actually giving you indication of trend reversal plus a very, very good risk reward entry, right? Both on the short and the long side.
Bro, I got one for you, Playboy. Your favorite coin, bro. DIA.
We got a bat right now. It's at
It's like
$1, so the R&R is great here.
yeah, like it's like I don't know. Um, it's like crap, dude. This tool is hella annoying. It's like I don't know, 113%. Like it could be like something that you want to like keep an eye on. And again, like it's at like if you just completely distinguish like whatever, it's legit bottom of the range. Like DI is probably like something that I'm like kind of looking at too. Um, one could probably try to finagle a harmonic over here like an M, like trying to like see if it would line up. Like this is another failed one too, right? I sent this to Playboy. Probably this is a shark. You got the type 1, you never got the type 2. So what if someone has hopium that you want to smoke and say that this is the type 2 from all the way from yesteryear of the summer? Like that could be straight hopium, but it could work, right? Like I don't know.
Is there a
We
certain
could,
amount of time that you say is invalidation? I mean, you said 30 bar for bearish stagnation after type 1 reaction. Is that
yeah,
the
like 30 to
standard?
30 to 50 bars. So if you're looking at the daily, it'd be 30, 50 days. 4 hour would be 30, 50, 4 hour candles. Just generally whatever time frame that you're looking on.
Got
I
it.
would kind of say this is reaching it too much because I had the same kind of idea with S and X. Like I thought this whole I thought from this low to the impulse back down over here, I took bids at 540 and it undercut it because I thought this was the type 2 from all the way, but it wasn't. Um, and just did. So like here right here, this is an active pattern that I have on SNX. This is a shark. But I was looking, it definitely undercut it, but I was looking at noticing that it has bullish divergence, like sellers were stepping away as we were making new lows. So this is still one that I'm kind of watching, but it's underperforming like crazy right now that I don't know. I'm about to take it off my watch list in a second soon. But yeah, there's honestly these things have printed so much money for me in the past like year or so that you know
So
Like
especially in
this went
crypto, it
back to
works well
back to
because
back.
crypto has those moves where you're losing, an 80% from your range, right?
100%.
88.6% from your range. If you lose it, you already have, a juicy amount of premium lost, and now your entry reward has exponentially gone up. Happens over and over and over. I mean, you can see from the charts that Glacier's going through. There's many different, bat and shark harmonics on here where you get it multiple times over and over and over within the same year.
Yeah, it's really in crypto, and it's like it's awesome. It's kind of awesome too because like the amount of moves and like I don't know, most things all time high to all time lows like aren't sitting at like 88% and like going 70% off in 3 months. Like that's super like that's awesome premium just or awesome value for you to get into then, make a decent premium. Like so you don't want to step away from like I just it's so funny like when people are like in like trading groups and stuff like that and like they start canceling memberships on like days where like everything's getting this super discount, bro. Like all the trades are about to start getting sent out soon. You know what I'm saying? Like this is we just have to wait. Like you got to wait for the accumulation and all the people like stepping in and the higher lows and stuff like that before you start going back to the upside. Like even ICP's shitcoin ass. Like this thing is one day. I'm telling you, one day will have its light in the sun where it will do something like
One day.
something like one day. Like I know it's super vague. And it's like, bro, anybody can say one day, but no, trust me. Like one day, the variables will be all put together like so well that it's like, holy shit! Like we
You'll
need to
have the
go long
perfect
on this.
harmonic, right?
Yeah, like and it'll be beautiful.
Perfect. So we literally just hit an hour and 5 minutes. Appreciate everyone coming by. If you have last minute questions, send them in now. Within the next 60 seconds, we'll check them out. But other than that, Glacier, appreciate you coming by, teaching us about harmonics today. If you guys have questions, DM the boy, hit him up in the chat
Yeah,
rooms.
bro.
We'll
Hit me
definitely
up.
we'll definitely have another one where we go over some more advanced strategies. If you guys want the harmonic cheat sheet, which just goes over all the different harmonics that are possible as far as Scott Carney's variations go, we have that. I'll post it up so you guys have the link, quick link into it. But yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate everyone's time. Have a good one.
Yeah, bro. Preach.
Thanks, guys. Also, I'll be holding the trade recap in just a bit here. So about 10 minutes break, and then I'm going to come on, share my screen, and we'll go over the market recap, what's happened over the last, what would it be, 4 or 5 days since the massive rally began, why the rally occurred, and what to do next, right? So we'll go over that. Should be about a 30-minute stream, fairly quick. Both will be recorded, but I'm going to end this one up. Catch you guys in about 10